Yo guys, Spiderbot here. We're back with part 2 of Kino der Toten on round number 11. We get the doggies coming out this time. Get the commando. I love the commando too. The commando's pretty epic. And the G11, I remember running Ascension for days and days and days, and I love the G11, especially upgraded. It just sounds so awesome. But the commando is pretty epic as well. Even though, you know, from a point horse perspective, there's certainly better weapons, but it's still pretty decent. And I'll take it for building points. What the hell, right? Still got the M16, we got the G11 and the commando, so we're pretty well-rounded here with our assault rifles, aren't we? All right, so where were we? We were talking about NGT, the early days of NGT, and where we had started off. And the way we were looking at making money by, or making a living, or whatever, making a business out of gaming, was hosting everything on a website. And I built the entire website from scratch. I have done programming, not only controls programming, but also software development. So I built the website myself, I programmed everything, and we had our own CDN, which was called a Content Delivery Network. And what you do is upload, once we had rendered out a video, I mean, we didn't even think about YouTube at the time, right? So we'd render out the video, and then we'd upload it to the CDN, and then I had programming on the website that would allow you to view the video, and then you just pay the CDN depending on, how much data is transferred from their storage, from the storage of that video. And the rates were pretty decent. The CDN we were using at the time was probably one of the cheapest. It's not around anymore, unfortunately, probably because of that. But that's what we're doing, and we ended up setting up our live streaming on the same content delivery network before the advent of a lot of these live stream networks. So again, the way we were going to get funding back was for charging people yearly subscription fees, which hey, we had a handful of people that subscribed. I mean, a lot of the stuff you could, I think, from what I recall, you could go onto the website and see some stuff, but if you wanted to see the video footage and stuff, the videos that we were posting, then you had to subscribe. Also, we had advertising built in. We had Google AdSense advertising, so we have like the banner ads, we had the box ads, etc., and that's something that we carried over into our site, from up until the time where it was taken down, because I just haven't seen the point. Like I said, gotta get back to it someday when I have some time, or hey, if someone else out there wants to build a site, then let me know. So anyways, like I said, we got a handful of subscribers. I think it was like $8 for the year or something like that, something silly like that. Maybe we should have gone $1 per month or something. Maybe that would have been more tantalizing or palatable for people, especially when you get them into PayPal and it's a recurring subscription. Sometimes they don't even realize it, right? That's what you do. Especially that's what they do with the gift cards, right? They have these gift cards that you can get from various retailers, and they expire. They expire if you don't use them. A lot of people either forget they have them and they just end up losing them, or they never use them, they let them expire, and the retailers make a ton of money off that. You've purchased gift cards that they no longer use, that they've got the money for, but they haven't given you product for it because you forgot about it, you haven't used it, or you threw it out, or whatever, or it expired. And that's how some places get you in with the subscriptions. PayPal even, I'd say, makes it difficult to unsubscribe. I mean, I've tried unsubscribing to various services, and it's a pain in the ass to go into that PayPal interface and figure out how to unsubscribe to something. And they do it on purpose. Damn them. Yay for them. Yay for PayPal. So, at any rate, we did that for a few months, and just decided, the marketing that we were doing, the way we were trying to get out there was, for the most part, using Google AdWords. So Google AdWords is the advertising service. So if you go onto Google, their search engine, and you do a search for something, you'll get, in some cases, not all cases, because maybe people aren't advertising for those keywords that you're searching for, but you'll get ads to the right of your search results. You'll get these AdWords ads. And it's not just there. I mean, that's where the majority of the ads get placed, but there are a lot of websites that, you know, put Google ads. Like our AdSense ads, you may have ads that show up via AdWords on your site, like text ads. I mean, you can do banner ads, etc., right? And you just pay by impression, like it's X dollars per 1,000 impressions and click-throughs, etc. So obviously, the idea is to generate recurring traffic from these ads that you're paying for, so that you make more money from that recurring traffic on the ads that you're posting on your site, as well as for subscriptions. So the time frame that we were doing all this was about February 2009, and this was when Killzone 2 was released. I think February 2nd, 2009, or something like that. World at War had been released in 2008, November 2008, and we did this for a couple months. We did the AdWords thing, we did advertising, we tried to get people to subscribe, and we got, like I said, about a handful of subscribers. So it wasn't working. It wasn't working. So then we thought, okay, well, how are we going to get traffic to the site? I mean, AdWords will get you some traffic, but how do we get a lot of traffic to the site? How do we get traffic here? And we just started looking into alternative ways of marketing, and that's when we started looking at YouTube. And at the time, I mean, there was no way to monetize gameplay on YouTube. We looked at, and there wasn't even no indication, or not a lot of indication, that you couldn't. That, you know, people were selectively at the time partnered on YouTube. I mean, it was hard to get partnered on YouTube. You had to have a good history. You had to have, you know, subscriber counts, view counts, etc. And then you had this application process. So you'd apply via the site, and then they'd send you, you know, they'd look at your channel, and a lot of times they'd just send you an automated reply saying, yeah, you're accepted or whatever, or you're not accepted, but we're not going to tell you why. and that was what we got. I mean, we decided, okay, let's start posting videos on YouTube and try and direct traffic back to our site, because again, there was no method of generating any sort of revenue or income off of YouTube directly. So we were using that as a means to gain exposure and gain viewers, and then get them to redirect back to the website, where we could actually make a living possibly one day, right? And make it into some sort of business. So we tried to get our subscriber counts up, we tried to get our views up, and I'll tell you a couple of things we did. I mean, number one is obviously we had some channel graphics. I can't even remember what you were even able to do at the time. But some of the ways that we tried to generate traffic, one was going on to forums and talking about, you know, forums specifically for the games that we were covering at the time, and not going on there to spam our videos. I mean, obviously we'd create sort of a forum signature or avatar or whatever that would indicate our presence on YouTube and our website. But you try to get into the conversation. It's not like spamming, what people end up doing today, and spamming video comments and spamming forums and just posting their video links in there. It's like trying to add to the discussion, trying to bring something new to the table. That's really what we try to do. One of the tricks that we did really early on, and I don't know if too many people know about this, and I don't think you can do it now. I actually haven't looked, but I don't think you can look up the subscribers, the individual subscribers or friends of a channel. I haven't tried lately, but with the new designs, etc. on YouTube, I don't know if you can do that. But back then in 2009, you could go onto a channel and you could take a look at all the people that are subscribed to that channel, and you can take a look at all the people who are friended to that channel. And that's when friends meant something back then. They kind of did away with that, unfortunately, but whatever. Now it's, what, contacts or something like that? So it's so impersonal. I don't know why they did that. So the concept was that we never really wanted to spam. Spam is considered bad. Spam is considered bad, and that's why you'll see people get blocked on NGTZombies and on our channels for simply coming on, oh, you know, I need a chance, I never got a shot, and I need a shot. You come look at my videos and subscribe to my channel. It's like, get out of my video comments. My video comments are trying to provide discussion for the video, not for you to advertise your channel. And we never did that. We never did that way back when. What we did do, though, one of the things that we did do, and I think it helped. I mean, obviously, you want to be involved in your content. You want to bring good content and develop your subscribers and viewers that way. But one of the tricks that we did really early on was going to a channel like, again, like Machinima. Machinima was, at the time, one of the biggest gaming channels out there. I think it was the biggest gaming channel out there. And they were obviously able to generate revenue, unlike everybody else. So I'd go onto their channel and I'd take a look at their subscriber lists and their friends lists. And I'd go into their friends list because those are the people that obviously have gone above and beyond even just subscribing to the channel. They've requested to be a friend to that channel. So they're invested, you know, they're invested in gaming. They want to see gaming videos, etc., which is exactly the target audience we were looking for, right? I mean, we're in gaming too. We want to have people that are highly invested in gaming and who are going that extra step, not only to subscribe to gaming channels, but also to become friends with those gaming channels. So I'd go into the friends list, and I'd do this for hours a day. Like, it was crazy how much I did this. I went and subscribed and friend requested every single person in that friends list. And obviously there are thousands and thousands, so I never got to the end. Plus, YouTube had this thing where you could only do it, you can only do so many within a certain period of time. So maybe you could do like 50 in an hour or something like that. There was some restriction, right? So I'd sit there and, you know, I'm not spamming people. I'm not sending them comments. I'm just subscribing to them, even if they didn't have videos, which was better. You know, if they didn't have a lot of subscribers, that's better than subscribing to someone with a lot of subscribers because they notice it. They notice, hey, they get an email notification, hey, someone subscribed to my channel. What? I don't even have any videos. Well, exactly. Exactly. It gets them to notice you. And especially with the friend requests. Why, you know, I have 2 friends and 0 subscribers on my channel. All I do is watch videos, and this channel is subscribing to me and sending me a friend request. Like, what the hell? And I get messages every now and then asking, you know, why are you subscribing to me? Why are you friend requesting me? And I just wouldn't answer. I'm like, whatever. But it got those exact people that were interested in Machinima, interested in gaming videos, to take notice of our channel. And hope, you know, the hope was that they'd take notice, they'd go to the channel, they'd see what kind of videos we're producing, and they'd subscribe, and they'd accept our friend requests. So we'd have those friends and those subscribers that we wouldn't normally have. I mean, how else do you get known on YouTube? I mean, I know a lot of people, again, a lot of people do the spam thing. A lot of people create drama on social networks and drama on YouTube to try and get subscribers, try and get noticed. Or, you know, people are trying to get shout-outs from people, etc., etc. And it's like a big, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to call it anything. Let's just leave it at that. It's something that I personally was never, ever really interested in doing. And I know, you know, from my aspect, I don't think I ever did. I may have touched on it briefly. I don't know. But I know that, the guy I was working with at the time, did a little bit of that. All right, let's just leave it at that. I just really, you know, I was more interested in building things based on what we could produce, and obviously being smart about it. Obviously, it helps when people mention you, but I didn't go creating drama with people specifically for that purpose, and I didn't go asking for people to shout me out either. You know, if they did, great. If they did because you had great content, then fantastic. But I really tried to, I still do, I stay away from that kind of thing. And you notice the difference. You notice the change. When I was doing that, when I was spending hours and hours a day doing that, you notice that your daily subscribers start going up. Your hourly subscribers start going up. So let's say maybe we had 10 subscribers a day. We went up to 30, 40, 50, 60. You know, you saw that number climb. You saw that number of subscribers per day that you were then obtaining on your channel that started to climb. And obviously, it was partly related to the content that we were producing, but it was also related to the things that we were doing with, especially with regards, and I think especially with regards to the subscribing and friending of, you know, based off of the friends list that Machinima had. So I'll say thank you, Machinima, for helping us out there. Even though, I mean, we did all the work, you still had the channel and all the friends there available for us to not spam, but subscribe to and friend request. And something you got to keep in mind, especially, well, with a lot of businesses, I mean, most businesses fail, all right? If you're trying to start up a business, just remember that most businesses fail. And even if they do succeed, most businesses definitely take quite a bit of time to see that success. I mean, there are always exceptions to that rule. You're going to see businesses that just, you know, they did everything right, or they had the right people involved, they had the right contacts or whatever, and they just skyrocketed. Yeah, you'll see that, and you'll see a lot of great businesses fail for, you know, opposite reasons, I guess. I mean, look at what VHS versus Beta. Beta was the superior format, but VHS won, right? So any business takes some time, and what we were doing was laying the groundwork, laying out the framework for hopefully having some success later on. And we were getting some of that diversion of traffic. We were getting traffic from our YouTube channel to our website. And again, you know, yes, we did have the subscription model, but we did away with that simply because, you know, we were posting all of our content on YouTube. So, I mean, why have a subscription model on the website when all the content is readily available? And we didn't do it, you know, just post some of our content on YouTube and then the rest of it on our website. We just, okay, let's post everything on YouTube, and hopefully, you know, either A, we can direct all the traffic, and B, hopefully we can become a YouTube partner and then start generating revenue on our views and have advertising on our videos, on our gaming videos. So we did that for a number of months, and we developed a good audience. We didn't apply for a YouTube partnership right away. Again, you know, we saw some of the channels that were partnered, and there weren't really any other gaming channels partnered, but there were other channels partnered on YouTube, and we took a look, okay, what are they generally getting as far as regular video views, how many subscribers do they have, etc., etc. And then once we were comfortable with where we were at in relation to some of those channels, we thought, okay, well, let's apply. Because you could only apply, I think it was like once every 2 months. Like if you applied and got rejected, you couldn't apply again for another 2 months. So we did that. We applied, and we filled everything in, and then you get this automated response. No, you don't. You know, you don't qualify, or whatever it was, whatever the response was. It was generic. It didn't really say exactly why we were declined. It's just like, yeah, this time you're declined. Go away, right? Apply again if you want in 2 months. So we're like, well, what the fuck? And there was no way to get any sort of feedback from them. I mean, it's Google, right? It's freaking YouTube and Google. Who are they to respond to the likes of any of us?
This weapon makes me happy.
So that process went on sort of towards the end of 2009. Something we ended up doing, some of the games that we ended up covering, obviously starting with Killzone 2, I did some extensive coverage of Prototype and Infamous, and at the time, I wasn't even doing commentary. Like, some of the stuff I was doing commentary. If you go on our main channel and go back, I think the first video I did that you'll see is the Killzone 2 Babysitter Trophy Achievement Guide. Actually, it's just a trophy guide because it's just on PS3. But that was sort of my first video. All the gameplay videos we ended up taking down because there was a stipulation at the time on YouTube in their terms and conditions that you couldn't monetize gameplay footage without like commentary. It can't just be straight gameplay footage. And a lot of that footage I had just recorded. I didn't do commentary over for both Prototype, Infamous, Killzone, etc. It's not until later on that we started doing commentary on everything. And we went back to World at War, and I don't know if we did COD 4 right away. I know I went back to World at War and did a bunch of videos, Rush Series videos for Search and Destroy in 2009. And we were sort of gearing up for Modern Warfare 2 that was released in November 2009. So we'll continue our discussion in part 3 here, guys. Stay tuned! I'm spotting them out.